What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys unboxing and review. Today, guys, we are going to be taking a look at Groot based on his appearance in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, not only is this my first time ever taking a look at a Groot, guys, this is my first time I do an unboxing for a Guardians of the Galaxy figure or movie. Thankfully, this is not going to be the only figure. I am pretty much going to get every single figure that has come out of this movie. That's Groot, that's Star-Lord, Nebula, Rocket, and I think for now that's all that we had at this time. I think there might be another figure or two that I might be forgetting about, but very excited to go ahead and get this guy unboxed again. Since this is the first time that I take a look at a Groot, I really have no idea what to expect, but still in all, very excited to go ahead and get him unboxed. If you guys are interested in securing yourselves a copy of this Groot, I am going to include the link to Sideshow Collectibles. Right now there is a wait list, but I do assume at some point this figure will become available, so I will include the link on the description of the video if you guys want to go ahead and join that wait list to purchase this, guys. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Okay, starting off with the design of the box. So first thing that I wanted to point out, guys, this has to be the heaviest box that I have ever carried. It is superly heavy, and that pretty much already gives me a kind of like a spoiler alert on what to expect on this figure. So pretty much what we have here on this box, we have a green background that is supposed to represent pretty much a plant-based type of background for the character. We do also get two images of Groot. The one in the middle top, it's pretty much the figure of the an image of the character, and then at the bottom it is of the actual figure itself with all the weapons that it comes with. We do get pretty much the font Groot, and it's in this kind of translucent type of bright background. So if you guys move the box with my lighting, it pretty much makes it a little bit different. We do get also an image of the a logo of the movie, and then also a description of the figure at the very bottom. So me personally, I am really liking this design of the box, and I feel like for the deluxe version, which is the figure that we're doing today, it's pretty much going to be unique because of that second image of the figure at the bottom. So on the right side, we continue with that same background, and it's pretty much the left arm in this type of darker tone for Groot. In the background, it's a green colored, it seems like space, but also like grass. So I guess it's kind of a mixture of, of space and of course Groot himself. In the background, we get warning and legal signs along with the name of the Groot. And in the background, if I'm not mistaken, this seems to be like kind of like the game console that he has. I might be mistaken. You guys are better than me at this. Please let me know if I am wrong about this. Here on the left side, we get this kind of like loading type of bar, and then we get the name of Groot right there. So kind of represent like if it was a video game console for the figure, from what it seems to me. Again, I could be way off about this, right? But that's just the way that it looks for me. At the bottom, we continue with that grassy type of background along with the name of the movie. And then at the top, it's pretty much, again, the name of the movie, but with that space background. So it's kind of like half and half pretty much. But I would say the first box looks really nice. I love the images of the figure and all the coloring that is involved here with this box. Okay, now taking off the top cover of the box, so we have this wallpaper that comes with the figure. So we have two images of Groot, one with all the weaponry and one with that little small type of branch arms that it comes with, along with an image of the figure on the left. It's more like an animated figure, so I wouldn't take the actual image of the character or the figure. It's more so like an animated image of the figure himself, Groot. Again, at the top right, we get pretty much a description of the figure, and feel free to pause if you guys want to go ahead and read it. But this is kind of more like a a book pretty much of images of the figure, right? Now that we have taken that off, we pretty much can see the plastic cover that comes with all of the accessories and the figure. And my God, getting that out of here, it is so heavy, and I can tell why it's that heavy with all these weapons and the figure pretty much here itself. So let's go ahead and get Groot himself out here, so that way we can get him, we can pretty much get a good look at him for the first time. So right here, this top bin right here is already heavy itself because of all those weapons and all the stretching arms that go connected onto the figure, but I can tell the figure himself will be even heavier. So first impressions on Mr. Groot himself, my goodness, he is a unit. This guy is absolutely heavy. I think he has to be the heaviest figure I have ever carried. To me, in that discussion goes Ultron from from the series What If, some of the die-cast Iron Mans, possibly Venom and Carnage just because of size themselves, but this has to be the heaviest. He is absolutely massive, but he looks absolutely awesome as well. He looks exactly as it is in the movie, and I am loving the feel of it and everything that it comes with. So now that we've gotten the figure out of the way for the first time, as always, we're going to take a look at all of the accessories that this figure comes with. We're going to pretty much review the figure in detail in every way possible. Unfortunately, no side-by-side comparisons for this video, and I will explain later on as to why. But of course, at the end, we'll do some poses and of course my final thoughts on this figure. Okay, starting off with the accessories. So it's been a while since I've done this, guys, but we're gonna have to do a part 1 and part 2 for the accessories just because of all the things that it comes with. Now, I could have possibly found a way to fit everything in, but I want you guys to get a good look at every single thing that it comes with. So first, we get a hexagonal display base that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Now, the design of it looks nice. I really can't tell what that background is. Please help me out on this one, guys. I really apologize for my lack of knowledge on this. The background is nice. I really can't say it isn't, but I just can't really understand what that is supposed to mean. I'm not sure if it's just the logo for Groot. Now, we do get a logo of Guardians of the Galaxy at the bottom, which is pretty glossy. Well, not glossy, but it's like it has this reflective imagery to it, so the lighting looks good on it. At the bottom, pretty much the name of the figure himself, Groot. But what I don't get about this display base is why did they go hexagonal with a figure that is as big as Groot is? Now, I've never been the biggest fan of the diamond shape display bases because of how much space it takes away, but I think it would have made sense with this figure. I think the figure is way too big and too massive for this display base. It does also come with that attachable crotch grabber, which is pretty long, so at least it'll help a little bit with the figure. Now, with the head sculpt, so we get pretty much 3 different face plates and 2 full head sculpts. So we get this smiling one that comes with the figure itself. I will touch base more on these a little bit later on once we're talking about the figure, but just know that it comes with 3. They are really nicely detailed, and what I like is that we get 3 totally different expressions with all 3 of them. So the other one was a smile. This one is pretty much well, if we look at it straight, it's just pretty much a no expression type of look, but there's certain angles that we can put this head sculpt in where it'll make him seem more like mean and angry and not just kind of serious with no expression. Now, when I said 3 face plates but 2 head sculpts, so this was what I was talking about. This one itself is just a face plate. Now, the good thing is that it does go connected to the other 2 head sculpts, so we pretty much can get those 3 options in full. Now, this one is again, depending on the angle that you guys want to show it, it can either be shock or in a fighting type of expression. Now, we get a second waist. So as you guys can see, we get the visible ball joints right there where each of Groot's legs is going to go connected to, and pretty much this part is going to go connected in the middle of the body and it's supposed to show that pose whenever Groot has all of his weapons and arms, and I will explain that a little bit later on once we're talking about the figure. But just know that it comes with this, and again, just like the other pieces of accessories, very highly detailed. Love the paint applications, and I will say this, I am not looking forward to switching it out because I can already tell it's going to be a struggle, to say the least. Also, it comes with this with these small branches. I want to call it kind of like a spider type of droid type of accessory. So we're able to attach all the other 3 head sculpts onto these small branches, and I will do that a little bit later on to see which is the better look for Groot, for the full body, and also for these small I'm gonna call it pretty much small spider branches. I'll call it that for the purposes of this video. Again, nicely detailed, so it looks really, really nice. We do also get these 2 shoulder pads. So these are supposed to, well, not shoulder pads, but more like shoulder branches that go connected onto the figure. They do have magnet pieces, so that's great. I feel like that's going to attach to the figure even better. I do wonder why they pretty much have them separate onto the figure, maybe to prevent damages, who knows. But just know that they do come with it, and again, nicely detailed with a lot of great paint applications. We do get 6 different pieces of hands. So these ones right here are to hold on to those big guns that it comes with, which we'll review on the next segment. All the hands are pretty bendable, and they match the texture of the actual body. Again, nicely detailed with all these green roots and green and pretty much branches. It is very nicely detailed, and I am in love with those hands. They look great. So those would be the first first two. The other two are going to be the closed fist that came with the figure itself. So these are pretty much normal for I would say almost 90% of every figure that we get from Hot Toys. Again, as I mentioned with the other pieces of hands, very nicely detailed, and as always just gives us options to pose the figure in different ways. So I would say they look pretty good and just nicely detailed. I love the texture and paint applications that they've done with all these pieces of arms. Last but not least, we just get open arm, relaxed hands. With these, because of Groot, I have some ideas with these hands on how to pose them, and more on that later on once I do the poses for the figure. Again, just like I mentioned with the other hands, just nicely detailed. Love the paint applications and the texture. I feel like I can't say that enough, but just know that it comes with 6 pieces of hands for the figure, just to gives us different options to pose the figure. So that would be pretty much the first section of the accessories. Now let's go ahead and get to the weapons and those stretchy extra arms that it comes with. Okay, now we get to the second part of the accessories. So this is what came on that top plastic bin, where pretty much we get 6 different I'm gonna call it long arms. Now these long arms have kind of like, I would say, finger type of branches, if I can say it that way. It does have wiring inside of it, so we're able to bend these. Now I'm a little bit scared because I don't want to break them in any way. Hopefully once I pose the figure, I have a little bit more ease. But the good thing is that I can tell that they're really easily to attach. And later on in the video, I'll go ahead and show the full pose for the figure itself. Just like with the piece of hands, these are really nicely detailed. I love the coloring, the paint applications that it comes with, so they're really nicely done. And again, it comes with six of them with different directions, so that way it goes on different on different parts of the body itself. So it's supposed to be 3 on the front, 3 on the back, and again, that brown, not ball joint, but more like a square stick, goes inside the back and the chest of the figure itself to go ahead and do that dynamic pose. So those would be pretty much the 6 hands that we get. And we do also get this little bomb right here that looks really nice because it has nice weathering, so it looks dirty. It looks pretty much like it's full of mud, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, I cannot remember this from the movie for some reason. It's been obviously almost a year or 2 since I've watched the movie. Great movie, by the way. But I don't remember this bomb, but just know that it comes with it. And I can't lie to you guys, I don't know how to pose it even if I wanted to. So sure, I'm happy that it comes with that accessory, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use it for the figure. Now we get 6 different guns. Pretty much all these guns are exactly the same, so I'm only going to display 2. Each of these guns is supposed to be made for those stretching extra arms that the figure comes with. So again, I can't wait to do the dynamic pose with all the arms shooting guns in different directions. But again, the guns are exactly the same. They're pretty much black and gray colored, or silver if you guys want to call it that. It's got some dirt applications, but or some damage applications, but that's pretty much it. Again, there's no difference among them, and I really don't have any issue. And then these are the bigger guns, so the coloring obviously is different for them. These ones do look a little bit dirtier than the smaller guns, and these are supposed to be for the normal hands of Groot. And again, more on that a little bit later on, so that way I can show the dynamic pose. Pretty much these ones are made out of plastic. There's nothing too special about them, and as I mentioned before, I really don't have any issue with it, just because again, to me, what matters is the figure. The weapons, it's, I guess, something extracurricular, so I really don't have any problems with them being made out of plastic. So this would be it for every single of the accessories. No issues at all. So happy that it comes with all of this. Okay, getting to Groot himself. So as far as the figure in totality, I really won't talk too much about it, and the reason why is because again, everything is the same. There's no difference of materials. Everything is made out of the same thing. Let me just say this: I love this figure, man. It looks absolutely awesome. I just love like how it's made, the texture of the branches or the wood, whatever you guys want to call it. So look at on top of the head. Just look at the detailing with those green. I guess if we can call it algae, or more like grass weathering, I guess, if we can call it that. But I like how it's surrounding the whole body. We could also get some green roots going across the body, like if they were veins. So Everything is nicely made, just so nicely detailed. I've never gotten any other Groots before, so I don't know if this applies to them as well, but all I can say is that it looks great. Now, we do have some visible joints, and you guys just saw those right there on the back of the legs. We do also have them right here on the elbow, and I would say the visible joints. Obviously, we have other joints that are not too visible, for example, between the shoulders and the chest area, his neck, and things like that, but I think the visible ones would be in the elbows and in the back of the legs. Could I have an issue with that? Sure, but again, because this figure is such a unit, I can't expect it to be one single, piece, right? I understand if there's, separation between it, but what matters to me is how nicely detailed this looks. Now, with the happy face itself, it looks great. I like how it looks, but I'm not sure if it's my favorite look for the figure. Let me go ahead and try the other face sculpts to see which one looks best. So we have here Mr. Angry Face Groot. So let me do this head tilt, and this is what I was talking about when I was reviewing the accessories. So I think the direction of the head movement, or how the head tilts, really matters in showing how the I guess how Groot himself expresses. So basically, by the way, we went ahead and also attached the shoulder, armor or shoulder branches on it, so that way it's a complete figure. But to me, that head tilt, right, makes him look mean, makes him look angry, and I really like this look a lot, right? For sure, I like it more than the smiling face one. And again, it's not a complaint about the smiling face one. I like it as well, but I just like this one even more, right? I think it matches his, I guess, the figure itself, right, or his stance. So it looks absolutely awesome. The third head sculpt is this one right here. It feels like it's screaming directly at me, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks scary. Just look at the eyeballs and how wide open they are. The mouth itself, it's like this guy's going crazy or something. It looks so awesome as well. So again, if we do the head tilt itself, it seems like the guy is fighting, right? And I'm definitely gonna use this head sculpt for that pose whenever we attach all of the guns. Now, obviously, that's the one that Hot Toys did on their images as well, so that's why I'm gonna do it myself as well. But man, this is an absolutely awesome head sculpt, right? Very nicely detailed, right, from the mouth right to the wide open eyeballs. So all three head sculpts look great, right? But to me, I think I'm gonna go with this one as my favorite. Let me know in the comments what you guys think is the best head sculpt for this figure itself, right? I'm also gonna go ahead and attach all three head sculpts to those smaller spider branches to see how they look as well. So right here we have three holes underneath the chest armor and also underneath the back armor. So this is where those long branches are going to go attached to do that iconic pose, which is what I'm about to do next, right? But just know that is where it goes attached. I like how nicely hidden they are, and right, I can't even tell from afar unless you guys look into it deeply. So speaking of those long arm branches, let's go ahead and get them attached to the figure. Okay, here we go, guys. So this took me almost an hour to pull off. So as far as the branches and the guns, to me that was the easy part. It's just about connecting, piece by piece, making sure the gun goes attached. But it's this mid area right here. So as I mentioned before, the waist, is supposed to be replaced with this pose, because it's like he's losing branches, he's losing roots, so that way he can get those extra arms, right? To me it makes sense. It's a plant, it's a tree, so it makes sense if he's losing some parts of his body to extend and others. Now, this is the part that took me almost an hour, and it's the legs. Deattaching them from the regular body was hell, man. My god, I was scared that I was gonna break something with those ball joints. They just wouldn't come off. Now, if you guys are watching this video and are about to get Groot, my best recommendation is to flip the leg in a different direction. So either have it go to the top or have it go to the back as high as you possibly can, and then just go ahead and remove the leg from the body itself. It feels like the ball joint at that point is at a straight position, so I guess it's a little bit easier, but sadly I didn't figure that out until the end. But man, it took me a long time, but I will say this, it was worth the 1 hour. Man, this guy looks absolutely awesome. What a unit. I just hate it because the pose of it is so awesome, but because I have no space in my display cases, I don't know what the hell am I gonna do, right? but I gotta find a way. I mean, I gotta find a way to display this guy with all these weapons and all these branches, because it's too much of an iconic pose. It looks so awesome, and love with the look of it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. And to me, getting the deluxe is worth it, because this is what comes with the deluxe. So really, really awesome look. Just love everything about it. Okay, so before we get to the poses and and things like that, I did want to go ahead and review the branches, the small branches, along with all of the head sculpts. So pretty much the regular head sculpts for the regular body are applicable to these small branches. So what I like is that because we get three different head sculpts, we pretty much get two figures in one. So I can get the big Groot and then this small Groot itself. Now, to me, this head sculpt personally is the better look for these small branches. I think it looks nice. I just love how the expression matches, I guess, everything. So in my personal opinion, this is the better look. But let me go ahead and try the other head sculpts. Okay, this one right here is the shock one. I'll be honest, this one doesn't really fit with it. It's like, to me, he has a fighting emotion, but really isn't fighting because of the body it has. So I really don't see it, matching with this. So no question, I'm gonna include that head sculpt with the bigger body. So yeah, let me go ahead and just do the happy one to see if it's better. Okay, with the happy one, yeah, this is much better. I like this one a lot too. Now, I like the serious one more, so I am gonna go with that one for this facial, for this face sculpt, right? But I think the happy one is a nice one as well. If you guys want to go ahead and give it a shot, I think it's a nice look. So again, so glad, because again, I get two different figures within one. So this one, I don't even know where I'm gonna put it. I'm not gonna put it in my display case. I might put it in my office where I work my daily job. I think it would be a nice look right there. To me, it's a nice set, so no issues with it at all. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Okay, to end the review of this figure in detail, I did want to go ahead and go over articulations. Hopefully nothing falls apart as I'm doing this. So the legs themselves, so you guys want to be careful with the ball joint. It does go all the way to the top, and it goes all the way to the side, not fully to the back, but more kind of like sideways. Now, the in between the knee, so as you guys can see, we have that visible that visible joint right there on the back. So it goes all the way till there, and then the knee to the top goes all the way till there. So I guess the articulations are good enough to at least give us those options when it comes to posing. Now, because the knees are attached on a ball joint, they pretty much go to the side there. The foot itself, if we can call it that, or boot, whatever you guys want to call it, doesn't really move a lot. The waist thankfully is movable, and it's supposed to be, because obviously it comes apart from this figure. So it goes all the way to the front there and to the back there. Let me see what else. The arms go all the way till there. You guys do want to be careful with those shoulder armor, which I prefer to leave on, just so that way it's more of an authentic look. Now, the elbow does pretty much go all the way till there. I guess good enough to to give us a posing options. And then of course, because to the back all the way till there. So not the greatest articulations, but because again, this figure is such a unit, I totally understand why it wouldn't be as posable as others. So again, the armor itself flips right. I think it's good enough for me, in my personal opinion. Now, my favorite part of the whole articulations is the face sculpt. So this face sculpt is very flexible, so it goes all the way to the bottom till there, all the way to the top till there. It does tilt sideways till there, and then to the other side till there, and then it goes around pretty much everywhere because it is connected on a ball joint. So to me, my favorite part of the whole articulations is that face sculpt. It turns around and it's very pulsable, so it is going to give us options. Also, the waist itself does go sideways as well, to the left there and to the right. For some reason, I can't flip it more. I'm not sure. It may be that's all the way that it goes, but just know that that's how much the whole body moves. So in my personal opinion, the articulations are good, not great, but again, because of how heavy and how much of a unit the figure is, I totally understand the articulations not being as great as others. Okay guys, to end the video for Mr. Groot Deluxe version from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, man, did I have a blast with this figure. Even though it was a struggle to attach that half body onto the figure itself, still still in all, it was worth it because of the poses that I can do, because of how much of a unit this guy is. So happy to have him. And again, as I mentioned, whenever I was doing him with all of the accessories that it comes with, I don't know how the hell am I gonna put this guy on my display case, but I will find a way. Still in all, I'm happy to have him, and to me, it's a deluxe or bust. Because of those stretching arms and those weapons that it comes with, it's like, to me, why not get the deluxe, right? Now, still in all, if you decide to go with the normal collector edition, you guys can do poses like this one right here, where he has the normal guns, right, the full body itself, and you guys do get the 3 additional head sculpts. So yeah, the collector edition isn't a bad idea, but me personally, I'm just happy to get the deluxe version. So nice debut to a figure of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is not the only figure that I will get from them. I have Star-Lord coming up, I have Nebula, I have Rocket, of course we just got Groot, along with other figures that I think I've gotten more, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't wait to complete the full collection. This movie was awesome. I really liked the emotional connection between all of these characters. I hope at some point we get a possible King Groot, right? For those of you guys who've seen the movie, that would be a nice idea. Or maybe in the future, if we get to continue to get more Groot appearances. So for now, guys, this is going to be it for the video. As you guys know, I did not do any side-by-side comparisons because this is my first figure ever from the Guardians of the Galaxy. I did not want to make these comparisons that make no sense. I'd rather wait until I get some figures from the movie or possibly any other Groots to do more fair comparisons, just so that way it makes a little bit more sense. But for now, very happy with what I have. So since this is the end of the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for the continued support. You guys are the best. You guys have been supporting me a lot over the last couple of weeks, and it means the world to me. As I mentioned on my post, right, this is my first of 6 figures that I have a right to me. It is a very exciting time for me personally, because I get a lot of figures and I get to display them and unbox them with you guys. So as always, want to remind you to like the post, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell, so that way you support the channel, but also stay notified every time that I drop an unboxing on my channel. A reminder that I am on Instagram and TikTok, where I drop images and updates on what's coming up on my channel. The links to that are on the description of the video, if you guys want to go ahead and follow me. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will include the link to Sideshow. There is a wait list for Groot if you guys want to go ahead and purchase them, so I will include that link. So for now, guys, this is going to be it for this Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 unboxing and review. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.